Welcome to a new episode, medicinalmoves.com. I am so blessed. I am joined with fitness extraordinaire, someone who I consider a master trainer, someone that can train for function as well as strength, somebody that has a wealth of information. Our trainer, Remi. Remi, what's going on?
Thank you, brother. I'm honored. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here, man.
Man, I appreciate you making the time. I got so much to learn from you, but thank you for joining us. Wanted to talk about a few things today, some popular big areas. I wanted to start and talk about hydration.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
I can learn a lot from you because hydration is everything. We're 60% water. You have
Yeah.
a slight dip in your hydration, your performance is affected. And I know that you probably could relate.
hmm
For me, you know what I found to be the best tip that anybody's ever given me with hydration?
What's that?
Start your day with a 30-ounce flush.
Uh,
Every morning, hydration should start with 30 ounces. Not any less than that and not any more than that to have a full day of hydration.
yeah. I'm
Mm-hmm.
a fan of that. That sounds like a good one. What I do know just from experience is that you could say that to a person and that's just too big of a leap for most
Yeah.
people. You know,
Yeah.
it takes a special type of disciplined person like yourself to hear that and be like, yo, that sounds like a good idea. Let me implement it.
Right. Right.
So what I try to tell people is just scale it back, and eventually you can progress to that. But start off with just making the first thing you do be drink water,
There you go.
whether it's a sip or a shot or whatever it is. Drink some water first before you put the
Right.
other garbage, in your system. You go online and you hear all types of stuff. People saying, drink half your body weight in ounces and this, that, and the other. I think all those are good guidelines. What I like to do personally is, unless I'm doing something social, like I don't drink much, but if I go
Mm,
out, I'll have a drink with the wife or if I'm celebrating something. But for
yeah.
the most part, bro, all I drink is water. I don't
Yeah.
drink any other drink. I don't drink soda. I don't drink juice. I don't drink anything. Even like I used to squeeze my own juices and that type of stuff. I don't even do that anymore. I just drink
All water.
water. That's it all day.
Have you
I
ever been? I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead. No, go ahead.
No,
Go
have
ahead.
you ever been diluted? Have you ever been overhydrated?
I did actually.
Yeah.
Many years ago when I first started, somebody actually gave me the advice they gave you, but they didn't put a liter amount on it. They told me to drink gallons. He's like, start your day off with a gallon of water. So
Yeah,
I
that's
was one of them
bad.
guys. Yeah. I was one of them guys that like carried around a gallon jug. I know y'all know those type people
Yeah.
that just walk around with it. And I was crushing them joints. Like I would try to get a gallon an hour in. And what happened was I put so much water into my system that I
Yeah.
wound up throwing up water.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
for hours. It was just clear, like just,
Wow. I've never
you
had it
know,
that bad, but
yeah.
I've had that reaction.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
with anything in life, you can overdo it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I mean, with the hydration piece, like you just said, we intuitively we don't think that we're gonna dilute our system or be overhydrated.
Right.
This affects us a lot of different ways because you got to remember you have electrolytes and a bunch of other
Exactly.
things. A doctor could probably tell you. So those are really good tips.
Yeah.
I think that hydration makes a big difference. Another tip I learned, I guess, if you get your hand, you
hmm
can pinch the back of your hand. You can barely can
hmm
see it. And if you let it go and it immediately goes back, you're hydrated. But if it's slow
If
to
it's
go
yeah,
back,
yeah, I've heard that.
you're
Yeah,
dehydrated.
yeah. I've seen people, come up with all types of, looking at your veins and
Mm,
I think that's a good one though. Pardon me. Just to give people like a quick baseline on
yeah,
whether you are or you're not. I also think people don't really know what hunger and thirst really are. They haven't taken it to that extreme.
right.
Usually it's just some type of craving. But what I will say is the next time that you're hungry, try to drink something, water, preferably, um, and see if that curbs the hunger.
Yeah,
Most of the time, we aren't hungry, we're thirsty. Um, and most people just don't know the difference between the two. But I'm a big fan
Absolutely.
of not just water, but electrolytes. So like I
Yeah.
put something called Element in my water occasionally.
I've heard Element is amazing.
Man, that thing is awesome, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like especially if you're doing some like strenuous cardio, riding a bike or running or something like that, toss some Element in. But if you can't get to the Element, man, some Himalayan pink salt, you know, anything like that thrown in the water will help. You know, we're electric, man. So the
Yeah.
more you can put that in, you know,
Do
the
you know the
better.
recipe for snake juice? Have you ever heard of
I,
snake juice?
I never heard of snake juice. What's that?
All right. It's Himalayan salt, table salt, and I think magnesium salt.
Okay.
Let me I'll follow up and I'll get the recipe for that. But that's
Okay.
supposed to be the perfect balance of electrolytes. You're supposed to get the pink Himalayan, some
Yeah.
table salt, and I believe like a little bit of Epsom salt. Man,
Okay.
snake juice recipes supposed to be perfect every time.
Man, that Epsom salt, man, you gotta be careful with that because
Yeah,
it'll clean you out, man. You better,
yeah.
you know, clear your day if you're drinking a lot of that Epsom salt.
You got to be real careful with it. That's why I
Yeah.
wish I had that recipe in front of me because it's a very specific, and it might even have like magnesium or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, but it's a really good one. Let's
Okay.
move on to flexibility.
Okay.
Um, I think that flexibility is something that a lot of us undertrain. Do you have a good or a big tip to help anyone that wants to maintain or enhance their flexibility?
Yeah. Do it.
Okay.
That's the biggest thing, man. Like you hit the nail on the head when you say it's undertrained or even
Yeah.
isn't trained at all. All of
Hmm.
my 20s, every dude I went to the gym with, we just jump up and down, and that was our warm up, and we go.
Right. Right. Bench press.
Yeah, exactly. Right. You know, you just stick out your arms or something and you go get
Hmm.
after it.
Hmm.
That's not going to cut it. And as you progress through life, you start to learn. Like I'm 41. I
Oh wow!
just turned 41 November 5th. Um,
Congratulations, bro. I'm
Thank
trying
you,
to get
brother.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, when I turned 40, like I started to notice the effects of flexibility and not
Mm.
being able to reach ranges of motion. So I spent all of 40 really walking away from a lot of my strength training and moving towards more mobility and flexibility. And if you don't
Wow.
use it, bro, you're going to lose it.
Yeah, yeah. I'm doing that right now. I mean, it's new training. When you were crossing that threshold, where did you start? Did you start with like yoga? Did you start with what is it, isometric dynamic
Yeah.
stretching? Like, where did you start?
I started with yoga.
Yeah.
I would suggest that's a great starting point. You won't unlock everything through yoga, but I think it's a great starting point, especially for people who are just super tight. What I
Yeah.
would suggest is if you can take it, do hot yoga. The heat tends to loosen up the muscles over time. Also,
All right.
the
Mm-hmm.
sweat will make you be able to get into positions that you wouldn't because your skin will glide. You know, so like if you're doing things like putting your hand, your arm will just slide under there because you're sweaty. You
Yeah,
know,
you lubricated. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly, right. You know,
Mm-hmm.
but what I found is yoga led me to a wall because usually, depending on the type of yoga, like if you are going to do it, I would suggest like a hot Bikram style yoga, but you don't hold the poses long enough for the adaptation to take place. So you will
Ah,
get more flexible, but flexibility has so many things that you have to train it in, not just like, for instance, if I'm working on shoulder mobility, right, I could just hold a stretch here and that
right.
will take me through a range of motion, but
Yeah.
it will increase my flexibility. I mean, but I need to take that arm through a range of motion to teach and stick that flexibility. So you kind of have to attack it from a bunch of perspectives. But I mean,
Right.
ultimately, just starting somewhere, moving, getting into yoga, holding stretches, do something, man. That's the ultimate thing.
No, you the master, and you said it. It's functional and strength. It's going
Exactly.
through the whole range of motion, but you're
Right.
gonna have to train both ways. And I'm not gonna get any of the benefits if I'm not training flexibility at all. So yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes no sense being super strong and you can't utilize the strength.
Right.
You know what I mean? So a
You
good
have
thing
nowhere to
for
take it.
right, you have no way to take it. So a
Yeah.
good thing for people to do is just stand up and see if you can touch your toes, man. You
Hmm.
know, if you can't touch your toes, that's a telltale sign you need to be working on flexibility.
Standing or sitting.
Yeah,
That's a good flexibility test. If you have a
yep,
block or something situated in front of you,
yep,
lock your feet in and try to
yep.
touch those toes. Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah, agreed.
absolutely.
Agreed.
What about meal prep? Our final topic area. I cooked tonight. I'm doing something controversial. I'm
Uh-oh.
making Cajun food, but I'm taking all the bad parts out. So
Okay.
no butter, no oil, no lard. Usually no pork. I can't think of the last time I incorporated pork, but I had a very nice chicken I made tonight. I just started playing with the roux, and I incorporate a little bit of tomato sauce and some garlic, all kind of flavors going, and I
Okay.
throw some greens and aromatics on there. But that's my meal prep for the rest of this week. So I got 3 days, and I'm sitting at about 6 to 8 ounces of chicken, a cup of rice, and a cup of greens.
Okay.
That's what I'm rocking with the meal prep. What do you suggest?
Um, this is a very,
I
you
tried to
know,
make it fun. I tried to make it
yeah,
fun, but
yeah.
it's
No,
not fun.
yeah. And people are real dogmatic about food,
Yeah.
you know. So I try to be like in my coaching when I meal prep. My meal prep it never is like eat 3 ounces or 5 ounces of chicken breast, white rice, and broccoli. If I say that, the way my meal preps work is you will be able to click chicken breast and substitute that out with a bunch of other things that you may or may not like.
Right.
Because what I found with meal prep is most people they'll pay someone to, give them a meal plan. That person who made the meal plan is not you. They don't know how you eat. They don't know what you
Right.
like to eat.
Right.
Nobody on earth is going to stick to something long term that they don't like. So
Amen.
90% of meal plans fail
Right.
because people, in order for it to work, you got to do it long term,
Mm-hmm.
and if you can't stick to it, then you're not going to do it. So I like what you said. Like, I'm assuming you like Cajun food, which is why you pick
Right.
Cajun,
Right.
right?
Right.
So you need to try to find the things that you naturally like to eat and then tweak them so that it fits whatever it is you're trying to do. So if it's weight
Right.
loss, you want to be in a caloric deficit. So you want to tweak that meal plan to accommodate what it is you're trying to do. And that's
Yep.
what I suggest people do. Don't make eating miserable.
Right.
You eating things you don't like, you're not gonna do it.
And I coach to the macros. I just want you to
Right,
be more aware of the macros because, like we're
right,
talking about, I'm not getting it right. A lot of people don't get it right because it really is a very scientific process.
right.
But if you get hip to the macros and you start understanding what it means to tweak your macros and increase your protein,
Mhm.
decrease the carbs, and start playing with the carb and fat exchange, it's like you said, you'll stick to it long term
Yeah,
because the results that you're gunning for will come in line with the what canvas you're painting, what you're
exactly.
creating in your kitchen.
It's a constant experiment, man, and you got to be
Yeah,
willing to keep, you know, striking into the iron is while the fire is hot and see if what you're doing is working and look at the results. You
right.
know, that's the most important thing. You gotta look at the results. So if you come up with this meal plan, or what I see a lot of people do is like they'll make Sundays, they'll make a big batch of food, and then by Wednesday they don't want to eat that anymore.
That's right. I eat it
Like
Monday, and I
right.
ain't like it Tuesday because I ate
Yeah,
half of it, and I
yeah.
went down the block, got me a sandwich, and then Wednesday,
Now you off track. So
right,
it's like, what did you really do? Like, so I'd say if you're gonna come up with a plan, be excited about the plan. It should be stuff you like. I can't wait to Tuesday to eat whatever it is.
right.
So you just got to work it like that, man, and do what works for you.
I figured it's making it simple. For me, that's what I do. What I like, I just start taking out everything. So if it's
Right,
cream, cheese, butter, oil, and then I'll start reversing out the proteins that I don't like. Uh,
right,
But that's good information. I
Yeah.
appreciate that like so much. What are you working on right now? What can people look for from you? I don't know if you have a lot of social media channels or a YouTube channel or something like that, but what's going on in your world?
Everybody keeps telling me to start a YouTube, man. I haven't done it yet.
You got
That's a
to.
lie. I actually have one. I just don't put a ton of content on it. I tend to like Instagram just because I know it, but
Right.
I am gonna push to a YouTube channel eventually. Most importantly, right now I'm really focused on the website and my online training. You can look it up at mnefitcamp.com. I tend to really put a lot of focus into that right now. Um, Mainly a lot of time has been put towards a book. I'm trying to write a book,
Oh
um,
wow.
just
What are
about
you
my life
focusing
and my
on in your
journey.
book? Okay, it's like an
Yeah,
autobiography.
kind
Okay,
of,
that's
sort of.
beautiful.
It's so much, man, that obviously with all of us, but for me, that got me to this point, and just my journey with weight loss. I lost over 100 pounds, and
Oh
how to do
wow.
that, how to mentally what I went through to overcome that. So when I work with people who are trying to lose weight, it it helps because I've been there.
Hey,
So
yeah,
I
absolutely.
know a lot of times these trainers, they've never actually been overweight.
They know
So,
what to say, but they don't know what it
right,
feels like. To know what it
exactly.
feels like is a
Right,
game changer because
right,
someone can gain from that.
right.
Hmm.
And
Absolutely.
every day is not a good day. And a lot of
Mhm.
these guys who are thin or in shape, you're at the goal. You're at
Right.
the point. So you feel great. But I know when I was going through that journey, every day wasn't a good day, and how I was able to, kick myself out of those things. So that's like really what I'm trying to focus on now is translating that message to the general public.
You got to get that out there. The
Yeah.
market needs that content. People need that content. So I'm excited for that. Definitely, that's going to be a game changer for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Um,
What about you, brother? What do you got going on? What are you working on? What are you
You know, I'm in the process of healing. I started seeing a holistic doctor, and
mm,
I've been making huge progress. I've had a couple setbacks the last year, and I'm getting back to it. I got some virtual online training. I think by the beginning of 23, I should be
okay.
able to kind of get back on that. But
Okay.
I had some major setbacks, and I'm starting to improve. I'm starting to get better. I know here in Texas, it's winter, but it's not winter out east. Like I know
Yeah.
you go through in
Yeah.
DMV. I just left that area, so definitely those are the things that's going on with me. Just trying to
That's
get my
what's up.
health back, trying to get some more of this good information out there, and stay consistent in providing it because there are so many people. It feels so good to just provide the information and to get that feedback. Like, all right, I didn't know this is how I could do it. When
Yeah.
you said, you know what I mean? And that's what I want to get back on. It feels really good to provide valuable information, game changing or life changing information. So I want to make sure I get back on that and I'm consistent doing that. Mhm.
Yo, well, I tell you, man, I had a chance to check out your page and what you got going on, and I think that one of the dopest things about you, bro, is your gratitude. You're very
I
thankful
appreciate
for
that.
what you got going on, man, and having that mentality is gonna attract more great things to you and in your life, man. So keep pushing, keep on your journey, man. It's inspiring, it's motivating.
Man, I appreciate that so much. You have no idea. I really, really do. Um, is there any handles that you want to drop or anywhere that you want anyone to check you out before we break?
Yeah, Strength Soldier, man. Strength underscore soldier underscore man on Instagram. Twitter, MNE Remy, Facebook, MNE Remy, and the website, mnefitcamp.com. Yeah, those are great places to reach me. If you need direct access, my email, Remy at mnefitcamp.com.
Boom. You got to connect with him. He's got a lot of amazing information. His strategies, his tactics, they work. without a doubt, the truth. I appreciate you taking some time out with me, and I'll see you on the next episode.
Yes, sir, man. I
Peace.
appreciate you for having me, brother.
Appreciate you.
All right.